Next driver.
Okay, let's unpack this. Get this. You buy something online, it shows up, maybe it's, I don't know, the wrong size or just not quite what you pictured.
Happens all the time.
Right. So you package it back up, send it back. Seems simple enough from, your end.
Sure. From the customer side, it should feel simple.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Multiply that one return by roughly $743 billion.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, because that's the value of stuff U.S. retailers processed in returns just in 2023. That's huge. Over 14% of all retail sales coming back at them.
It's a massive reverse logistics operation. The real question is, how do businesses even begin to handle that kind of volume, efficiently?
Exactly. And what actually happens, like, behind the curtain after you drop that box off, that whole complex dance is managed by something called the Return Merchandise Authorization Process, RMA for short.
Ah, yes, the RMA. It's the engine running in the background, isn't it?
Right.
Managing approvals, refunds, exchanges, the whole lot.
Precisely. It's way more involved than just, putting things back on a shelf. It touches inventory, finance, customer service.
Logistics, definitely. It's quite strategic when you look closely.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we're digging into an expert guide that focuses on optimizing this really critical retail function.
Makes sense. Getting it right is crucial.
So our mission today is to sort of peel back the layers on this RMA thing for you, understand the common, headaches involved,
And there can be many.
reveal why getting it right is so vital, not just for the business, but really for your experience as a customer, and look at how companies are trying to streamline it all.
Yeah, it's a real nexus point between operations and customer happiness.
So let's start right at the beginning. What is the core of this RMA process? What are we actually talking about?
Okay, so at its most basic, the RMA process is just a standardized way for customers like you to return products. It gives structure to it.
Instead of just mailing stuff back randomly?
Exactly. It provides a formal path. You request the return, they manage it, whether it's for a refund, an exchange, maybe even a repair.
And the guide we looked at kind of lays out the typical steps, which seem pretty consistent. You, the customer, you submit a return request, maybe online through an app, maybe call someone.
Right. And then if the business says yes, maybe based on their policy, or they might ask a quick question, they give you an authorization number, an RMA number.
Ah, the magic number.
That authorization number is absolutely key. It's like your unique ticket for that specific return. It links the item coming back to your original order. Can kicks off all the tracking inside their system.
And you usually have to put that number on the box or something, right?
Yeah, usually on the shipping label or maybe a slip inside the box. Then you send the item back, ship it, drop it off, whatever they ask.
Okay, so they get it back at their warehouse or return center. Then what?
Then it gets assessed.
Yeah.
They check it against the return policy. Is it back within the right time frame? Is it, in good condition? Or maybe damaged? Does it tick all the boxes?
Makes sense. They need to check the rules.
Precisely. And that check determines what happens next, the final outcome. The disposition. Will you get a full refund, an exchange, maybe store credit? Or, hey, if it breaks the rules, they might even send it back to you.
It's interesting why this whole structure exists, though. It's not just like red tape for the sake of it.
Oh, definitely not. It's all about accountability and tracking. That RMA number lets the company follow the product, follow the money right through their systems, especially inventory.
So it helps them keep control.
Yes, and it ensures a more efficient, predictable return experience for you, the customer, while they maintain that internal control over potentially billions in returned goods. Without it,
I dread to think. Chaos.
total chaos. Imagine stuff just showing up, no idea who sent it, why, what to do with it, returns lost, refunds delayed forever. That structure is essential, especially at that scale we talked about.
But, it sounds complex, and managing something this complex, especially with those huge volumes, must come with some serious headaches, right?
Oh, absolutely. Let's shine a light on those common challenges, because often these are the things that end up making the return process frustrating for us as customers.
Yeah, where does it typically go wrong?
Well, the guide we're using highlights several big ones that lots of retailers struggle with. One of the most common, manual processing and inconsistent workflows.
Meaning people are still doing stuff by hand, like spreadsheets.
You'd be surprised. So much reliance on manual data entry, tracking things in Excel, endless email chains for approvals between departments.
Oh, the spreadsheet jungle. Nightmare.
Mhm.
And manual means errors, right?
Exactly. It slows everything down massively. But worse, it leads to really inconsistent handling. You might get lucky with one agent, but the next person your return hits might drop the ball, log it wrong, lose an email. The experience becomes a total lottery.
And that inconsistency probably feeds into the next issue: unclear or rigid RMA policies.
Spot on. If the rules themselves, what you can return, when, how are confusing, hidden away, full of jargon, or just way too strict, it causes huge friction for the customer.
Yeah, you just want to know, can I send this back? Yes or no? What do I do? Simple.
Exactly. And vague or overly complex policies don't just annoy customers. They make it super hard for the internal teams, customer service, warehouse folks, to apply the rules consistently. They end up guessing, which adds more delays and more inconsistency. It's bad all around.
Then there's the information problem, or
Yeah.
lack of information, limited visibility, and poor data management.
Right. The guide points out that many companies just struggle to see the bigger picture. They find it hard to spot return trends, monitor their overall return rates effectively, or even understand why things are coming back.
So they don't know if one product is a disaster or if damage in shipping is spiking.
Pretty much. If your return data is siloed in different systems or stuck in those spreadsheets or not even captured properly, you can't connect the dots. You're flying blind, unable to fix the root causes.
And from my perspective as a customer, maybe the most frustrating thing is delayed refund processes and poor communication.
Ugh, yes. You send the item back. Maybe the tracking even says it arrived. And then nothing. Crickets. Weeks go by. No word, no money back in your account.
It drives you crazy.
It really does.
Yeah.
That uncertainty, that lack of updates, it doesn't just make you impatient. It seriously erodes your trust in that brand. Simple automated updates, clear tracking from the business side, surprisingly often missing.
And finally, the guide mentions a big internal disconnect: lack of integration across teams and systems.
This is a huge operational bottleneck. Customer service might approve your return in their system, right? But that info doesn't automatically flow to the warehouse team who actually receives the box.
So the warehouse doesn't know what to do with it.
Or they do. But then they don't have an easy, connected way to tell the finance team, okay, issue the refund. And none of them might be perfectly synced with the main inventory system to update stock levels correctly.
Wow, so it's like they're all working in different buildings with no phone lines between them?
Kind of. It creates these silos. Massive delays in getting sellable items back into stock. Customer service reps can't give you real-time updates because they don't know the status, and the whole operation just grinds along inefficiently. It's like passing notes instead of having a conversation.
And taken together, all these issues, they're not just minor annoyances, are they? They really hurt the customer experience, making you think twice about buying again, and they hammer the business's bottom line and efficiency. Returns become this huge, costly mess.
Which naturally leads to the next question. What does it look like when a business gets this right? What are the real benefits of, optimizing the whole RMA thing?
The good part. Moving from the problems to the potential. Because getting this right isn't just damage control, it's actually strategic. The guide outlines some major upsides. First, and maybe the most important for you listening, enhancing customer satisfaction and trust.
Absolutely massive. A smooth process gives clarity, convenience, and a sense of control to you, the customer. When initiating a return is easy, maybe a clear online portal, when you get timely updates, when support is responsive if you need them, that builds serious trust.
Yeah, transparency and speed can turn a potentially negative experience having to return something into a positive one. It shows the brand cares even after they have your money. A good return experience can genuinely make you more loyal.
Couldn't agree more. Next up, optimizing RMA directly helps the business itself, enabling business growth and efficiency.
How so?
Well, automation is key. Getting rid of those manual, error-prone tasks we talked about reduces delays and frees up staff. Instead of chasing return paperwork, they can focus on things like sales, marketing, or improving the products themselves.
Makes sense. Less time on admin, more on value-add stuff.
And integrating those teams, logistics, inventory, service, finance, means everyone's on the same page, working with real-time info. That smooths out the whole flow of goods coming back and gets customers their resolution much faster. Less internal friction, better coordination.
Okay, what about the costs? Does it actually save money?
Yes, significantly. Benefit 3 is reducing return-related costs. Efficient systems obviously lower the direct costs of processing each. Return, less labor, fewer errors. But strategically, better data helps identify why things come back.
So you can fix the root cause?
Exactly. Maybe packaging needs improving to reduce damage. Maybe product descriptions or size guides are misleading. By fixing those underlying issues, businesses can cut down on avoidable returns altogether and process the ones they can't avoid more cheaply. It tackles costs from both ends.
That sounds smart. What else?
Supporting inventory accuracy and restocking is another big one. When your RMA system talks directly to your inventory system, the moment a return item is processed, its status gets updated accurately and immediately.
So you know right away if it's good to resell, needs repair, or is just scrap.
Precisely. That means sellable items get back into stock faster, inventory planning is more accurate because you know what you actually have, and less cash is tied up in returned goods sitting in limbo. It helps meet future demand better.
Okay, inventory makes sense. And the last benefit.
This one's really strategic, enabling better decision-making through return data. Optimized systems don't just process returns, they capture rich data about them. Why was it returned? What was the outcome? What did the customer say? How long did it take?
So you're not just handling returns, you're learning from them.
Exactly. Analyzing that data helps businesses refine everything. They can improve product quality based on failure patterns, make website descriptions clearer, tweak return policies to be fairer or more efficient, even optimize how they pack and ship things.
It turns returns from just a cost into like a source of business intelligence.
That's a great way to put it. It helps make informed decisions across the board, strengthening the whole operation and boosting customer satisfaction in the long run.
Okay, so the benefits are clear. Enhanced trust, efficiency, lower costs, better inventory, smarter decisions. How do businesses actually achieve this optimization? The guide mentions software and strategy.
Yeah, it's usually a combination of both. Software often provides the backbone for handling things at scale and achieving that efficiency. Modern RMA platforms have features specifically designed to tackle those challenges we discussed earlier.
Like what kind of features?
Well, first off, automation and real-time capabilities. Things like automatically generating the RMA number based on rules, triggering refund authorizations automatically, sending those status updates to the customer via email or SMS without anyone having to manually type them.
So taking the manual work out of it and keeping everyone informed.
Exactly. And that real-time visibility isn't just for the customer. It means internal teams, service, warehouse, finance can see the status of any return instantly. No more chasing emails or checking spreadsheets. Much smoother internal comms.
Okay, automation. What else?
Customizable RMA types and policies. Good systems aren't rigid. They need to handle different situations easily. A standard refund is different from an exchange, which is different from setting something in for repair, right? So the software needs to let businesses set up rules and workflows for each scenario. Maybe electronics have different rules than clothing. This flexibility helps them apply the right process consistently, keeping things efficient but also customer-friendly.
Less confusion for everyone.
Right. And finally, a huge one is centralized return management and reporting, bringing all the return information into one place, like a single dashboard.
So everyone's looking at the same data.
Yes, teams can track, manage, audit every return easily, becomes the single source of truth. And crucially, these platforms usually have built-in reporting tools.
To analyze those trends we talked about.
Precisely. Identify patterns, see how effective policies are, track KPIs like how long returns take, which products come back most often. Using that data, as we said, drives much better decisions and continuous improvement.
Okay, so software is a big piece, but you mentioned strategy too.
Absolutely. Software is a tool. You need a plan to use it effectively. The guide lays out a pretty solid strategic approach, 7 key steps for businesses that are serious about optimizing their RMA process.
7 steps. Okay, let's walk through them. Step 1.
Map your current RMA workflow. You have to understand where you are before you can improve. Document every single step, from the customer thinking, I need to return this, all the way to the item being restocked or scrapped and the refund hitting their account.
Who does what tools are used, where are the handoffs?
Exactly. Where are the delays? Get it all down. This creates a baseline. Step 2 follows logically. Identify key pain points and bottlenecks.
Okay, so look at the map and see where the traffic jams are.
Right. Where are things breaking down? Slow approvals? Communication gaps? Are certain types of returns always getting stuck? And crucially, ask people. Talk to customer service, the warehouse team, logistics, and get customer feedback too. Where are they feeling the pain?
Their input must be gold. What's step 3?
Define clear, consistent, and flexible RMA policies. Write them in plain English. Make them easy to find. Document them clearly for your internal teams.
Spell out the rules simply.
Yes. What can be returned? In what condition? within what time frame. Be clear upfront to manage expectations and reduce disputes, and make them flexible enough to handle refunds, exchanges, repairs appropriately for different situations.
Makes sense. Step 4.
Automate and standardize key processes. This is where that software really shines. Replace manual tasks wherever you can. Auto-generate RMA numbers, auto-send status updates, automate simple approvals, trigger refunds automatically when conditions are met.
And standardize.
Yeah, make sure every return follows a consistent, predictable sequence of steps. This ensures efficiency and a reliable experience no matter who handles it.
Okay, automate and standardize. Step 5.
Integrate your RMA system with other core business tools. This is huge for real efficiency. Connect it to your ERP system, the main business engine. Connect it to your CRM, your customer database. Connect it to inventory management. Connect it to your shipping platforms.
So all the systems talk to each other seamlessly.
Ideally, yes. Real-time data sharing avoids duplicate entry, helps different departments coordinate instantly. The warehouse knows what service approved, finance knows when to pay, and gives much better visibility for everyone, including the customer.
Seems critical. Step 6.
Use return data to drive continuous improvement. Don't just let the data sit there. Analyze it. Why are things coming back? Which products? What reasons? Are refunds taking too long? Use these insights to make changes.
Like fixing the product itself or the description online.
Exactly. Or improving packaging, adjusting policies that aren't working, refining warehouse procedures. Turn that data into action to proactively reduce returns and make the process better over time.
Okay, makes sense. And the final step, number 7.
Train staff and educate customers. A great system is useless if people don't know how to use it. Make sure your internal team, service, warehouse, finance are fully trained on the new processes, policies, and software tools. Give them good documentation.
And for customers.
Make it easy for them. Clear FAQs about the return policy. An intuitive online portal where they can start a return, print a label, check the status themselves. Empowering the customer reduces confusion and support contacts.
It sounds like a really thorough kind of cyclical approach, fixing the inside mechanics and the outside experience.
It really is. And you can see the impact clearly in some real-world examples the guys mentions. They show how this optimization really delivers.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, take reducing high return rates through data-driven policies. Imagine data shows a specific jacket keeps coming back because it doesn't fit.
Ugh.
Analyzing that might show the online size guide is just confusing or wrong. So the business uses that insight to fix the guide, maybe even talks to the supplier about sizing. Result: fewer doesn't fit returns for that jacket.
So the data directly leads to fixing the root cause, preventing future returns? Smart.
Exactly. Or think about enhancing customer experience with real-time authorization and tracking. Optimized systems can often approve simple returns instantly based on the rules.
No waiting for a person to review it.
For straightforward cases, yeah. And then they provide you, the customer, with a real-time tracking link for the return shipment and the refund process. That transparency drastically reduces anxiety. You're not left wondering, where's my stuff? Where's my money?
Yeah, that peace of mind is huge. What about the money side?
That links to strengthening refund efficiency and warehouse management integration. Fast refunds build massive trust, right? But they depend on that smooth handshake between customer service approving it and the warehouse confirming they got the item back in good shape.
The integration we talked about.
Precisely. Integrated systems let the warehouse quickly scan the item, verify it against the RMA, confirm condition, and automatically trigger the refund via the connected finance system. Minimal delay. Faster refund cycle for you, efficient processing for them.
Okay, faster refunds. What about customer service interactions?
That's where boosting customer loyalty by improving support and issue resolution comes in, often through CRM integration, when the RMA system talks to the CRM.
The customer database.
Right. When you contact support, they instantly see your whole history, past orders, past returns, previous interactions. They don't have to ask you to repeat everything.
Oh, that's much better.
It makes it so much easier for them to understand your current issue in context and resolve it quickly and personally. That kind of informed, efficient support really builds loyalty.
Makes sense. One more.
Yeah. Gaining operational visibility to manage returns at scale. Think about businesses growing fast, selling on multiple websites, maybe internationally. Returns can become a nightmare to manage without a central view.
Things get lost in the complexity.
Totally. Advanced RMA software provides that crucial single pane of glass. They can see all return activity, spot trends across different channels, track performance everywhere, and adjust operations to handle growth without the returns process collapsing under the weight.
So, looking back at all this, It's really clear, isn't it? The RMA process is so much more than just, dealing with unwanted stuff.
Absolutely, it's fundamental. It's a strategic lever that directly influences customer satisfaction, brand trust, operational efficiency across the whole company, and even provides data for making things better.
Optimizing it means simpler workflows, lower costs from errors and manual work, and lets businesses handle returns quickly, accurately, predictably. The guide mentions tools like the NEX Driver's RMA module as examples of software offering that automation, visibility, and integration needed.
Right. Those kind of tools, combined with that strategic seven-step approach, empower customers with an easy process while transforming the company's internal operations. It shifts returns from just being a cost center to being a driver of success and retention.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, something to mull over. Think about the last time you had to return something online, maybe in a store.
How did it go?
Yeah, how did that specific experience feel? The ease, the clarity, the speed of the refund, the communication. Did it make you feel good about the brand, like they had your back? Or was it a hassle, a frustrating ordeal that made you think twice about shopping there again?
What does that tell you about the quiet power hidden in this seemingly logistical process?
Exactly. The power of a smooth return in building or breaking that lasting customer relationship. Something to think about.